Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, you're most definitely welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you for joining me on today's video. In case you haven't been following me on this YouTube channel, or in case this is your first time here and you just don't know, so I actually moved to the United States about 3 years ago, and it's been a very beautiful and overwhelming experience for me. So I decided to make this YouTube channel because I get a lot of people asking me about how I move, what the move was like, what is life like in the United States and everything. So that's why I decided to make this video today. And yeah, so this video is going to be about things to expect when moving abroad, especially the United States. I moved from Nigeria, and when I was moving, and this is also for anybody who has moved abroad, moving to a new country can be a very exciting experience, but it can also be overwhelming and scary at times. So I'm hoping that by sharing my experiences, I can help you prepare for what is to come. By the way, congratulations, because you're making a very big, bold decision, deciding to move out of your comfort zone and move to a new country, whether it's for school or you're just deciding to change your environment or for whatever reason. The first thing to expect when moving abroad is the culture shock. I moved to the United States from Nigeria, and for me, I moved during the pandemic, so it was right before the lockdown started. So even though I didn't get the full experience when I moved, because I was home for a couple of months, about a year if not more, but still there was still the culture shock because Nigeria is way different from the United States. I moved to New York specifically, and then anyone who lives in New York or who has been to New York before would know how diverse New York is. There are so many cultures, so many, I saw people of different colors, people from different parts of the world, people who speak different languages. So this can be a little overwhelming. So culture shock is something that you should definitely put your mind to and expect. So the thing is, when you're moving abroad, no matter the country you're moving to, no matter where it is you're moving to, you need to keep an open mind. You need to be open-minded and expect whatever. Be open to learning, because you learn about different things, different people, different cultures, different cuisine. Like, the experience is not from here, so keep an open mind, and then don't be opinionated. You just have to keep an open mind. Things will definitely be different from how it may be in wherever you're coming from. One of the other things to expect when you're moving abroad is the education system. If you're moving here for school or if you're moving here for work, the career path is not what you expect in wherever you're coming from. So for me, coming from Nigeria, the way the school was, immediately you finish secondary school, which is high school, you move straight to university. It's a all different thing here. Even the school, even the high schools and everything, it's not the same where I was coming from. So you need to keep an open mind. Things are going to be different. Like, things would be very different. Like, the education system is different, is much more different compared to where I was coming from. So it might also be the case for you. Even the way the career is, like, even though you are doing the same job, like the way it is. So for example, for me at work, I work with people who are much more older than, and I call them by their names. But in Nigeria, because we can be very respectful. I'm not saying we're not that the people here are not respectful. Of course they are respectful, but in somewhere like Nigeria where everyone is respectful, they expect you to treat them a certain way, like, oh my goodness, uncle, blah blah blah. Like, I'm sure people that have had the taste of both know what I'm talking about. So it's way different here. So keep in mind that the education system and also the work system is going to be, it might be a bit or much different from what you're used to. It might take a while for you to get adjusted to the system, but trust me, it's going to be easy. Another thing to expect when moving abroad is the fact that you have to be independent. Now, some people might be lucky, they might have family members around that can help them with settling down and everything, but for me that wasn't the case. You have to learn how to be independent by yourself. Now I do everything myself. Like, you need to learn basic skills. Like I need to learn how to manage my finances. You might be lucky, you might find someone to help you. Even if you find someone to help you, you still have to do these things yourself, because you don't want to be disturbing someone all the time. You just have to learn how to be independent. Now me, I came from a very big house. There was always somebody to help. There were always, people around and everything. Moving abroad and then living by myself, finding my apartment, finding a job, doing everything myself, making sure, I'm being wise about how I spend my money, what I do with my time. It was a whole new thing for me, because I moved out at a very young age. It was like I grew up so fast, and then I had to learn so many life skills. So that's one thing you should keep in mind when you're moving abroad. You need to have a plan, know what you're going to do. Another thing you need to be, you need to know when you're moving abroad is you need to know your destination, study your destination. Like for me, before I moved, I was watching videos, watching YouTube videos, Instagram videos. I even reached out to some people that I knew that were living here, just to ask them for tips and advice. That what can I do? How can I do these things? So one of the important things is the climate and the weather. Now, the climate in Nigeria for me was very, it wasn't, when it's cold, it's like, I'm trying to think of, like, it was just, the weather was good. It was moderate. Even when you say something, when it's hot, it was very hot, but when it was hot, maybe it was like in the 70s, 65 or something, or 80s, extreme cases. And then when it's cold, maybe like, in the 30s, 40s, 30s and 40s. But moving abroad, guys, let me tell you, so when I left the airport, JFK, and then I got outside, guys, it was during February, so it was winter. When I got outside, the chill, the cold that I felt, I've never felt that cold in my life before, guys. My hands were freezing, even with my winter jackets, because I had a winter jacket with me. Even with my winter jacket, my hands were still very cold before I got to the cab that was taking me to my destination, guys. So make sure you want to keep the weather in mind. So if you're traveling during the winter, you want to have your winter jacket. If you're traveling during the summer, you need to know what to expect. So wherever you are going, no matter where it is you're going, just make sure you know what kind of climate you'll be expecting. So this will help you better prepare for your move, and then make your transition smoother. And then with time, you get adjusted to the weather. Like me now, I'm already adjusted to the weather, so it might take a time, but you get adjusted. Another thing to note is that you need to learn the language. So if, for example, you're coming from a place where English is not the first language, you want to make sure that you start practicing, you start learning before you travel. This will help you communicate more effectively and help you to adapt to your new surrounding. For me, we speak English in Nigeria, and I still have this accent barrier where sometimes when I speak, I need to repeat myself because they don't understand my accent. And then when some people speak to me, when people with the accents, the American accent, I need to, they need to repeat themselves to me. And sometimes that can be a little frustrating, but with time it gets better. Don't worry, it's gonna get better. And then there's some words, like, also depending on the part of United States you're going to, there are different accents. Like for some, you might be going to the South, there's a way they speak. You might be going to the, it depends. So sometimes there's different, it's a diverse country, so, but with time you're going to adjust and it's going to get better. Like for example, now at work, it's not like I'm forming an accent or anything, but I just try to speak in a way where they'll understand what I'm saying and they understand me better. You get what I'm saying? Like now, so, but obviously when I'm talking to people that are Nigerians or people that live back home, my accent changes. But then when I speak to people at work, there's a certain way I speak so they can understand my accent better. So you also need to keep that in mind as well. Like I said before, also make sure you network with people, guys. Networking is important in this country. Like no matter what you do, you need to. So like I said earlier, I made sure before I traveled, I connected with people that were already here, like people that were here, my cousins, my friends, my family members that were staying here, I sent them a message. I just to ask them for tips and insights on how to live in this new country, how to adapt and all that. So you want to make sure you're doing all that. This would help you adapt to your surroundings, and then it will make you learn. It will help you navigate your surroundings as well. And this will also, and then if there's any way any of these people can help, maybe they have a connection to someone who has maybe an apartment or a job, it just makes everything easier for you. So you also want to make sure you connect with people and then you network. Another thing you need to know is that you need to be prepared for the paperwork. Guys, the paperwork can be quite tiring because you need to fill applications, work permits, visas, documents. So you want to make sure you have all your necessary documents before leaving your country. And then even as you get to this country, sometimes someone might tell you that, okay, this is what you need to do. Another person will tell you, okay, these are the things required. You need to make sure you do your research and have the proper paperwork so you don't waste your time, and then so you can get whatever you need to do done in good time. So that is another very important thing you need to note. So get your paperwork in order, and then make sure you're getting your information from the right sources. Another thing I'm going to say is that when you're moving to another country, be flexible. Things will not go your way all the time. Some people might be lucky and then things go their way, but for most people, things don't always go as planned. Trust me, I've been there a couple of times. Be flexible. You also need to be adaptable because things wouldn't always work as planned. You also have to have a backup plan. Backup plan, that is important. If plan A doesn't work, have a plan B, have a plan C, have a plan D, just in case your plans don't go as wanted. Yes, also this is very important. This is very important so that in case things don't work as expected, you're not disappointed, and then there's always something you can fall back on. So for me, I was when I got here, I was planning to get a particular job. I didn't get the job I wanted, but I knew that this isn't the end for me because I already had another plan to fall back on. So in case this job didn't, in case I didn't get this job, I mean, it's good to be optimistic, but sometimes let's be realistic. You also want to have options. So my plan was, get this job and then, take this course. But things didn't go the way I wanted. They went, so I had to fall back on other plans. So that is very important. She needs to do that. She needs to keep an open mind, be adaptable, be flexible, and then have backup plans. My final point is for you to stay positive. Moving to a new country can be very challenging. Guys, there are going to be so many, it can be very challenging. Things wouldn't always go the way you want them to go. You always get disappointed. It's inevitable. This is life. But I want you to stay positive. Focus on the opportunities and experiences that await you. Trust me, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So just know that even if you are going through anything, it's always going to get better. Guys, I'm not where I used to be 3 years ago before I moved to this country. I've had my challenges. Yes. Am I in a better position? Yes. Do things get better? Yes. It will always get better. So, you just need to manifest, pray, whatever you need to do. Keep yourself focused, keep yourself good, focus on the great things that are about to happen. Embrace your environment, go out there, go into the sun, enjoy. Being homesick, like missing your family members, all that is, trust me, I've been there, so I know what that feels like, but it's always going to get better. Moving abroad can be a life-changing experience, and it's been a life-changing experience for me, and I hope it's going to be a beautiful life-changing experience for you as well. I hope that these tips would help you prepare for your own journey, and then if you're already in whatever country you may be in, I hope that these tips would help you. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. Thank you guys.